how to not get overwhelmed by negative energies. And it's funny because as I go to start this video, there's like some crazy screaming people over there. um, but yeah, so how to not get overwhelmed, how to not let your system get corrupted and have energy fed out of your system by negative energies that you're going to come across in your day-to-day experience here on this planet as we try to walk around in these sacks of meat and do whatever we're supposed to do here. You know what I mean? But yeah, so what can you do? Well, there's the isolationist answer where it's I can leave. I can go into the middle of the woods and not interact with anybody and be by myself and all that. And hey, you could do that. It's an option for sure. Wow, that's a sick breathing. It's an option. You can do it. But then you're gonna have to deal with some new negative energies, because if you haven't burned through the karma in your field, it's just gonna come up somewhere else. So yeah, so there's the isolationist technique where you can go away, but most of us that need to do day-to-day things and stay in day-to-day life and want to have a family and do 3D things, how do we combat? Well, the answer is you become a bigger ball of light than the negative energy. And now I'm trying to figure out how to the best way to describe this. So let's say let's call it your ojai, which is like your spiritual substance, your chi, you know what I mean, your spiritual like substance. And if your ojai is more powerful than the negative energy that's coming in, it's able to absorb it, burn it, and transmute it, and not let it attach to you and stay karmically. So we have a karmic warehouse for our day, right? You wake up from sleep and a little like warehouse shack is empty at the beginning of the day, and you have the chance, if you start your morning very intentionally, to really do a good job at closing and locking the door of that shed so negative energies can't really get in. If you wake up and you check your phone right away and subconsciously you get a hit of guilt, then the door is wide open and energies start feeding their way in. So it's really important that first 30 minutes, I know you've heard this a million times, but this is just from like an energetic karmic standpoint. What you do right in the morning kind of sets up for the rest of the day how well that door is guarded into the daily karmic warehouse, right? And basically what happens is, say your karmic warehouse gets very filled up during a day and you don't process any of it, what happens is this big delivery truck picks up the stuff from your daily karmic warehouse and brings it to a larger warehouse that stores all your karmic memory. But that's a discussion for another video. But back to the door, right? So it also has to do with how you go to sleep too, and this is something I really have to work on and continuously try to work on. But yeah, so like if you're eating a lot before you go to sleep, or you're drinking caffeine late, or you're smoking the za before going to bed, which is my little issue sometimes, a lot of the time, and you're not gonna wake up. You're gonna wake up with a loose door, and it's gonna the negative energies are gonna start sneaking their way in a lot easier. But then waking up naturally early. If you're waking up between 5 and like 6:30, that door, even if you do check your phone, will be pretty shut. You'll be able to keep a lot of those energies out no matter what. But the main thing you can do to increase your ojai and and keep the negative energies out is to become aware of your dopamine stimulation. So the more dopamine stimulation you have, right? So say you're just crushing like TikTok videos and doing all sorts of things, that playing video games all day and scrolling on your phone during work and all that stuff, and you're just kind of frying your brain's dopamine. Yeah, you're gonna be very susceptible to negative energies. Very. And the opposite is true. If you're, managing your screen time, doing things that increase your dopamine, like meditation, walking in nature, exercise, reading books, you're gonna do much better at not karmically taking in those negative energies throughout the day. And what I keep saying, these negative energies, I haven't given any examples. It could be something as simple as, hey, my sister called me and just told me a story I didn't need to hear, and it was all negative and bloobity blah, right? You could let that energy climb in and affect you, or you can burn it up and stay in your energy, stay in your source, stay in your power. The more you slow down, car, the more you slow down, the just better you're gonna be able to process things on the fly. You're not gonna be as reactive. And how do you slow down? Same kind of things. Yoga, meditation, less dopamine stimulation, and your experience is just gonna slow down. It's gonna, I like to think of it as less dopamine, more serotonin. I know, I don't know neuroscience. It's just markers that I use, words for my brain to understand the concepts that I'm thinking up here. Is the dopamine is the big spikes, big crashes. So, watching porn, taking drugs, all the big spike, big crash. Serotonin to me is more like a consistent drip that can stay. It's sustainable, right? So if you're just feeling really good, and you're reading a book on the beach, right? That's it's not a crazy dopamine hit. It's a slow serotonin drip. And the more you have that slower drip, the more you slow down, and just the negative energies just aren't gonna hold much weight to you anymore. They're not, but yeah, so that's my guy for today. Beautiful day. Need to go back inside though. Yeah, I got some stuff to do, but yeah, love you guys. Peace out.